Hi, Melissa. Thank you for coming in today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I sense a little bit of hesitation.
Uh, you know, not much better than last week, but it's life.
Yeah. So, talking about last week, can we recap and see what maybe we got out of last session?
Okay, so I just remember talking about how my husband feels about this whole drinking situation. Um, like that we're in trouble. Um, I don't. We talked about how much I drank, things like that.
Okay. And did you take anything away from it?
I went home and had some discussions with my husband just about I want to understand more of what he's getting at, saying. Um, we had a couple fights over it, but
Yeah.
because I am still at the point where I don't really think that there's a big issue, but he clearly does, and we're just having trouble, you know, getting together there. So
Finding middle ground.
yeah.
What I'm hearing is it's not, there wasn't too much progression from,
No, not a ton. I mean, I guess instead of him just like talking at me,
Mhm.
we talked slash argued with each other at least, so it
Yeah.
wasn't just I get if you want to call that progression. I don't know. At least it was more like conversational instead of him just telling me what he thinks. And
So you had a say in your part, and you had maybe a feeling
mm-hmm.
that maybe there's some thought about the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been thinking about everything. I'm trying to see his point, and I do. It's really hard to not. I don't feel like he's seeing my point. He just says because my point's wrong, but
Okay. So going back to the recent argument that you just had, what does it look like maybe at his point of view? Can you step aside from yourself and try to view it that way?
yeah, I can try. I just see him as he's kind of angry. Um, like he's almost like disappointed, which is like the worst. I feel like, but I feel like he's kind of disappointed. I feel like he's not super. I don't feel like he's super attracted to me right now. Just things like that. I don't know. Like that's the way he's portraying how he feels.
And there's difference in thinking perspective on your end.
Yeah.
Okay. So he feels that maybe the alcohol that you consume is too much, and then you feel on the flip side that you don't feel that you're not consuming that much, and you don't really understand why it's affecting your relationship.
Exactly. Like I think I'm fine. He clearly doesn't. And it's like, oh, well, one of us is right, one of us is wrong. But then it's like, well, maybe I don't know. I try not to be so you're right, I'm wrong thing, but because it's not like his feelings don't matter, they do.
Right.
But I also feel like my feelings should matter.
Well, it sounds like you're taking steps, to preserve your relationship and make sure that you're at least communicating about the subject instead of just brushing it off. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Thanks.
That's a step for sure.
Thanks. I'm trying.
Yeah. What do you feel that you want to get out of this session this time?
I would like for you to wave your
Yeah.
therapist wand and fix everything.
Okay. That maybe I don't have that one. I wish I did.
All right.
But maybe something a little more realistic.
Um, I just want you to. I just. I want to be able to make my husband happy and want to stay with me. And that sounds like I'm that creepy girl that's like, oh, I want to make my husband. That's not what I mean. I want him to be able to live in our marriage,
Okay.
and I want to be able to too. So, however you can help me do that.
Right. Well, ultimately, I just want you to know it's your decision and how you come up with a plan because you're the expert in your own life. So what I can do is just be here and maybe bounce off a couple of thoughts
Okay.
with your permission. But ultimately, it's your decision on if you want to take the step towards healing your marriage.
Okay.
Okay. So if I asked you, or showed you a ruler on a scale of 1 to 10 on maybe how you feel about changing what alcohol looks like to you or how you um, use alcohol, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you fall in the steps of you would want to take those steps to change it? One being
Okay, so
not
that's
ready.
easy.
Okay.
I'll fix it for you.
All right.
5, because I don't want to, but he wants me to at a 10. I'm at a 0. He's at a 10. I'll do 5.
Okay. So it sounds like you're on the fence of if you want to take steps towards changing because you have him on one hand that wants you to fully change, and then you have yourself who wants to just, you don't really understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, it's like the angel and the devil, and I'm in the middle, so.
Okay.
It's the best I can do.
What can you imagine what it would look like if you did decide to change your alcohol consumption?
So, I mean, yeah, earlier this year I went, well, actually it was like 15 days. It was supposed to be a month, but I decided to challenge myself to see if I was like okay in my alcohol consumption. Um, and so I was like, I'm just not gonna drink for a month, and it was awful. It was just really lame.
Yeah.
And I only made it like 15 days. But then I went back to not drinking it until the end. I think I just had one slip up, but so it wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's okay.
Well, congratulations. That's a big step to just going from maybe there's nothing to I'm just not gonna do it. That's great.
Well, thanks. Aaron said he wasn't very happy because I did fall at that. I did drink at that one point, but it's better than how I was. So, but obviously I've gone back to normal. But
So you said earlier that it wasn't great. What made it not great?
I just felt like I was on edge the whole time. I didn't have. I felt like I didn't have as much fun with my friends, although I probably did. I just felt like I didn't. I don't know if it was in my head or what, but I was just not having as good and as relaxed time in life as I normally do.
So drinking for you is an outlet to have fun and to relax and to de-stress a little bit and to maybe be who you feel you truly are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And Aaron does not feel that way.
No, like I think alcohol makes me more fun and nicer, and he thinks that it makes me less fun and meaner.
Okay.
So
he feels it's polar opposite.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how that works, how we both see the same person and it's so different, but he says you don't know how you are when you're drunk. You can't gauge yourself when you're the drunk one. And maybe he's right. I don't know, but I don't see that. But and I don't think it's not every time. He's not mad at me every time. It's just certain times apparently I get meaner than other times and get more intoxicated than other times, things like that. He doesn't really enjoy, but
so his main concerns is the amount being consumed, and when you do cross that amount, then it changes your personality towards him.
That's what he says, yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Sometimes maybe, but also sometimes I feel like if I drink a lot that evening or whatever, he like has this attitude and then it makes me mad or whatever. So I do feel like it's probably a little bit of both of us.
Okay. So
but maybe it wouldn't happen if I didn't drink that much that evening. So
right.
I don't know.
So I'm still sensing you being on the fence of whether or not you want to take initiative to change maybe what alcohol means to you, and or not.
I mean, yeah, I'm on the fence because it's hard. It really is. Like, it's hard.
Absolutely.
Like, to me, I'm on the fence because I don't think it's necessary. However, being with him is so important to me that it is, it is necessary. It is a concern. So
And that's definitely a strength. You wouldn't be here if you didn't love your husband.
yeah, I wouldn't. You're right.
So to reflect back, when you said you just for a month, 15 days, and then you finished out the month, you mentioned that it was just you quit cold turkey and that you didn't necessarily like how you quit and you felt it was not fun. So it sounds like it wasn't. You did it, which is great, but it sounds like it wasn't the best way that you could have
No, it sucked.
maybe changed the way you looked at alcohol, right? Is there any like, if you think, is there any way that could have made that better?
Besides not doing it.
Yeah. Is there any way that you and Aaron could come to an agreement instead of just being cold turkey and being miserable? Is there any way that we could look at that differently and not just quitting?
I mean, I think so. He's told me before. It's not that I drink. Like, the actual drinking isn't the issue.
Okay.
It's the amount and stuff. So maybe if I just like slowed it down a little and.
Okay. And what would that look like?
It would look not fun. No. Maybe just fewer days or fewer. Like a smaller amount or something.
Okay. And I want to touch back a little bit too when you said it's an outlet to maybe for you to have fun and to de-stress. Has there been any other ways that you've tried to accomplish that without alcohol?
Well, actually, that month that I didn't drink, well, except the one day, I I did a lot of yoga that month,
Mm-hmm.
and I really did like that. Uh, but I really liked it. I'm not gonna take away from that. But at the same time, if I wanted to come home from an exhausting day, I may just want to sit on a couch and have a brewski.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. It's yes, I like that. It helped me de-stress, but I had to take the initiative and have the energy to do it in the first place, which cracking open a can doesn't take any energy. So
Well, but you tried something and it did, filled your need and urge to drink a little bit. Maybe not completely 100%, but you did try.
yeah, yeah, I'm really not giving it enough credit, and I really think no, that's the only thing though. That's
Okay.
literally the only thing I tried. So
Right.
maybe
Well,
something.
maybe we can explore different options and you can pick which ones might or sound best for you and fit in your lifestyle. If we did come up with a plan and we came up with maybe certain goals to change your perception of your alcohol consumption and make Aaron maybe not be on your back so much. What would a goal? You said you like numbers and you like concrete goals. What would an attainable goal be for you?
Okay. So I don't want to set myself up for failure.
Right.
And you're right. I do need numbers. I have to have numbers, or I because I have to have something where I say, this is it. That's it.
Right.
Can't go any farther.
Something that you can almost see.
Mhm. Okay, so I drink every night now. Maybe like 4 nights a week.
Okay.
And maybe like maybe 3 beers.
Okay. A night.
Each night.
All right.
You have the 4.
And do you feel Aaron would be satisfactory for Aaron?
I think so. I mean, I know for a fact I don't have any sort of. I don't get drunk off of 3 beers. So that would save me from that.
Because you said he has a issue when you go past a certain point. So if you sang yourself up for 3 beers, then you won't get past that point.
Right.
But it may fill that need for you?
I think so. I mean, it's just, at this point, it's more of a, great, I'm going to say habit, and then that's, great. So, great.
So it sounds like to me that, I mean, there's some negative aspects to drinking, that if you feel that it might be habitual to you, that you might be viewing it a little bit more to the negative side. Yeah.
Well, I mean, habit makes it sound bad.
Yeah.
When I think of drunks, I think of like addiction, habit, like, so that's just great.
But you don't feel that way.
I don't feel like I'm a drunk, but I do feel like it's a habit.
Okay.
So that's just great.
Well, we can work towards that. Maybe your definition and perception of how much alcohol consumption is different than Aaron's, and maybe to the society, but we can work on that. That's not a problem. Okay. But going back to our goal, if I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are really confident that you can obtain that goal, and 1 being not so confident that you're like, meh, forget it, where would you fall on that spectrum of how obtainable your goal is and how you can, we'll give it a 2-week window, if you can do it for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. The 3 beers in the 4 days?
Yes.
8.
Okay. Well, great. That's very good. So you feel it's very obtainable for you and that you could accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make any promises. God knows what'll happen.
What?
I mean, Chicken Little over here, but I can. I would say that it's a 10 probably, but let's just back it on up to an 8 just in case something cool happens.
Well, good. So maybe with our next session in about 2 weeks, we can evaluate and see, where you stood on your goal, and maybe coming up with different coping skills. You mentioned earlier that, it's help you de-stress and help you have fun. Maybe we can come up with different ways and see if they work. That sounds good to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I think I need that.
Well, great. Thank you for coming to the session, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.